Tiff. So, gun control it's a heated debate at our house. So we're going to our next part here, health. Right. So right now at our house, we are, for those of you who don't know, Tiffany works for the Texas Kidney Foundation, which is a health advocacy organization. And so during this whole particular time frame, COVID, right, I've gotten fat. I don't know about Tiffany, but I've picked on some pounds.
Too. He knows that. He's just trying to get me to say I've gotten big.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we've issued a health challenge, right, our own personal health challenge. And so we have that coming up. Sherry's coming to the house, this week?
Yes.
Yeah, the 1st. Tomorrow. Yeah, the two of you talking trash.
Well, she's actually going to come to the house on Saturday, but yes, I start. Mm-hmm. All right, and I've already started clearing stuff out at our house.
Yeah, so I ended up getting rid of a lot of my
stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ended up getting rid of a lot of my Fruit Loops. All of my Fruit Loops. I have a couple more.
Fruit Loops.
Yes, I ate my Fruit Loops because you just can't throw away those Fruit Loops. There are starving people in the world who want Fruit Loops.
They're not starving for Fruit Loops.
Well, they should be. Anyway, so we're getting ready, right? I've gotten all the equipment I need for the house to train there. So Sherry and Tiffany have been talking a lot of trash about how they're gonna do better than I am, which not gonna happen.
We are.
So that we have that coming. But the importance of your own personal health and doing, I think the term is personal care, providing personal care for ourselves, right? Can you talk about that a little bit, Tiffany?
Well, one of the things that became really evident during this pandemic was, for me personally, was how much I work. And the pandemic kind of caused me to kick into even more overdrive because we were at home, working from home, there was not a stopping point. And I saw my health, as the pandemic unfolded, we've seen upwards of 40 people die that we are friends. Mm-hmm. And in our friends and family, somewhere in the range of 40 to 50 people, I had to stop focusing on the numbers after like the 14th or 15th person. But the toll of dealing with that much death.
Yeah, and then
was I was eating out of sadness and frustration and not taking care of myself, mm-hmm. Just not taking care of myself, not getting enough sleep. It was hard to sleep. And then at a certain point after my mother died, that was hard.
Yep.
And all of the people that died after her, it was like 17 people.
Yeah, quite a few people passed away. And then you're married.
Now and then, so that's in a year. So that's a person every 2 weeks.
And so then you're married to me, saying, "Hey, if we don't get a grip on our own personal health, we're going to end up in that number."
Yeah, and we have a 12-year-old and today a 10-year-old.
Yes, double-digit Annie. She's mm-hmm. double digits today.
Yes, Annie turned 10. Mm-hmm. So there's we're older parents, so there's a lot that we need to do in terms of self-care, and I wasn't thinking about self-care. I was just thinking about trying to get through to the end of this, so to a place where people were not dying, and you just can't do that.
And so your physician is a personal friend of ours, right?
And he's been Dr. Bruman, Dr. Varshy Bruman,
and he told you,
and he is the best. He is the best, and he is really has been my rock through a lot of the personal
and so
part of this.
He agrees with me, right? He said, "Do you want to be on that number?"
He held my hand through the hard stuff, and then finally said, "Look, you could end up, on that cold slab just like everybody else in your family. You got a set of genes that are no good." No, he didn't say it like that. But he was like, he said, you got a lot of challenges health-wise. And he knows what every single one of those challenges are. So he's looking at them. and looking at what should be done. And he called me to his office, him and his brother-in-law, who was also a friend of mine, Dr. Mazzani.
Look at you just name dropping. I know
Dr. Mazzani.
Dr. Blah. And Dr.
My daughters
Blah.
think Dr. Mazzani is like is a hero. So anytime something goes wrong, they're always like, call Dr. Mazzani. He can fix it.
So,
because he saved my brother's life 3 times.
Okay.
But they called me into their office and kind of ambushed me a lot. and
why
sat me
is that
down.
An ambush? Why?
Because I wouldn't have gone in there.
But,
well,
say,
you know what?
Hey, if you don't pull it together, you're going to put Kevin out in the cold world alone with 2 daughters looking for a wife. That's not good. It's a cold world right now.
Nice to know
you
you'll be on the search as soon as before I even got cold in the grave.
I give
be
you
on
3
the search.
months, 90 days.
You hear this?
It's
San
world.
Antonio? Do y'all hear this? Anyway, no. I mean. The part about me that is so, and I'm sure there are 100 people. Wait a minute, can I finish saying what I need to say?
Say what you're going to say.
The thing about me that so many people who are listening to us would probably deal with as well. I don't like to go to the doctor. I don't like going to the doctor. I don't like going there at all.
That's weird. Tell me more. I'm glad I listened.
Because people die at the doctors. The doctors tell you the worst things.
They don't die in the clinics.
No, they don't die in the clinics, but you get the worst information from doctors. Like, they're the ones who tell you, oh, you've got this, and you're probably going to die, or such and so has this. You know, the last time I was in their office, one of the last times I was in their office talking with them was when they were telling me about my brother. You know, I was sitting there with my brother hearing his diagnosis. So I don't like going to the doctor, because often my experience of being in a doctor's office is with somebody that I love getting a diagnosis that nobody wants to hear.
That's interesting.
You know, so that's what it is. It's not you and your mess that we go into the doctor for, an ingrown toenail that you're about to pass out over or whatever.
I am just the opposite. Let me tell you something. I grew up as a poor kid who didn't have health insurance, and I will go to the doctor for anything. I want to make sure that I am okay. Now, I do know that when I had that little, what I thought would turn out to be blood pressure, I was like, this ain't blood pressure. But once I was convinced, I was like, we're going to the doctor right now.
So we are the opposite when it comes down to that. I've always had health insurance, so it wasn't like, okay, I don't need to hear about how privileged my life has been and how downtrodden yours is. So anyway, Kevin.
All right, so that is.
But that's why I don't like
that
going.
Is interesting. Okay, so you think it's going to be the bad news place.
Yeah, it is. It has historically been that in my life.
I got to think about that emotionally for myself.
It has historically been that. So you don't need me showing up to the office with you, because it's probably going to turn out negative.
That is not rational. Okay. That don't make sense. All right.
No, it's not. It may not be rational, but you asked me why I don't like going. That's why I don't like going. Anyway, so they sit me down in a nice little room and tell me, no, you've got to follow what we're telling you.
Yes, which is we got to lose weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you've got to eliminate salt, or severely limit salt.
All right, so she's going to do well, but not as well as me. She and
I
Sherry.
will beat him.
Yeah, you and Sherry.
I will beat Fruit Loop King here.
So
I will beat Mr. Fruit Loop.
More to be said about that. But hey, other than our own, we're personally competitive. That's going on there. One of the things that you're doing through the foundation is the test kits, which is very important. Tell us more about that.
So the only way that you will know whether or not you have kidney disease, there are 2 ways. It's through the blood and through the urine. Right now, what we're seeing in healthcare is that the kidneys are being affected by COVID-19. Yes, and the after effects are significant to kidneys in some patients who have had COVID-19.
Quite a bit. The research is showing quite a bit. If you go to Google Scholar, googlescholar.com, and you enter in COVID and kidney disease, COVID, and
you'll
lung
see,
disease, you'll see the numbers are spiking.
That's particularly important in the African American community. And so we're urging, and we also have 1 in 3 are at risk just normally for kidney disease. So 1 in 3 Texans. So that is, everyone is being affected by this.
Yeah.
And that would be if you've been diagnosed with diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, or obesity, you are at risk for kidney disease. If you're in recovery from COVID-19.
And you have those symptoms on top
And you
of that,
have them.
you're at risk for
kidney disease.
Because one of the things that we've noticed that, because I've been hired by the foundation, not hired, more volunteered my time.
Yeah, he volunteers. He doesn't get any money.
I don't get any money.
He gets paid in hugs and kisses from me, but I don't think that that's considered currency. It's not recognized currency.
One of the things that we've seen in the numbers is that we've seen people who've had COVID also turn around and they're in danger or right at those borderline numbers for kidney disease. Is what we've seen in the numbers there, which is consistent with what we've seen, is what they're seeing on a national level. So the importance of getting this test, especially if you've had COVID,
and a worldwide level, we're seeing it in every country.
Yeah, right. Because when I was seeing the numbers, and then when I went and I was bringing up the research from the scholar and the different scholarly papers that have been done, I mean, COVID is a microvascular, did I say that right? Disease, and it has an impact on your kidneys, your heart, your lungs, and that is a big concern. So,
so you want to.
What is the website?
The first step that you can take to find out about your kidneys, you can do it right from your house or your phone, and that is go to silentbutdeadly.org. You take a 12-question test, and we will send you a kit right to your house. Now, these kits are available through June 30th. So order your kit. Order your kit. We have 6,500 of them for the Bexar County area, 6,500 left. We've already disseminated 1,500. Order your kit.
Yeah, that's extremely important.
It's free. It'll arrive at your home. You pee in a cup. Put your dipstick in your urine sample, put it on the green board, and put your smartphone over the green board, and you will get your result right there. And we will receive your result.
Yeah.
So you're not alone. All you have to do is go to silentbutdeadly.org.
All right. Thank you, Tiff.
You're welcome. And I ask as many people as hear this, tell a friend to go to silentbutdeadly.org.
All right, and you've been hearing from On the Record with Tiffany and Kevin.
Here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.